George Bissett families. It's me, Mr. Fry, your principal. I want to talk to you a little bit about self-regulation, how it is that we're doing it at our school, what was going on, and why this is making sense for us. Over time, we've seen an increase in behaviors going on in schools, classrooms, in our office. Really, you see it at home. I see it at home. We were looking for more tools to support our kids. Kids come to school to learn, they come to feel safe, and we needed to find ways to make it work better for us at school, adults and kids. We were always asking at our school, why is this going on? Why are they acting this way? And that was a real positive, that our staff, myself included, were looking and when there was something going on and asking, why is this going on right now? Why is someone yelling and storming out of gym class? Why does somebody have their head down and won't join in the circle? Why can't you just stop and listen because I'm trying to help you? The answers we found in self-regulation started to give us better questions and more answers. The first question is, why this kid and why now? Self-regulation, a method developed by Dr. Stuart Shanker to promote an understanding of stress, stress management, energy flow. Now, the struggle for me when I go from the definition of self-regulation as a way to understand stress, stress management, and energy flow to promote self-regulation, to explain that to a 8-year-old is a stretch. So what I talk about is I talk about an energy tank, and that we have like a tank of gas like you have in a car, and that there's things that give us energy and there's things that take our energy away. And if our tank is low, we don't have the energy to manage life, to deal with things. And if our energy is up, then we have the energy to manage things. We try and look at what we can do to increase our energy, to give us more energy to manage life, to deal, and then the things that drop our energy, and figure out what they are, and then how to bring our energy back up. Where energy's low, things like putting on snow pants, a switch of an activity. If your friend doesn't talk to you today, they become unmanageable. Now there's 5 main stressors. Biological, things like noises, crowds, your food, sleep. Emotional, those could be positive or negative emotions. Cognitive, and that's just processing information. Social, the interactions you have with other people. And your prosocial, which is how you cope with other people's stress and emotions. So this is your brain. This is where we're thinking. This is our wise part of our brain. And then deeper inside your brain, you have other pieces. This is the limbic system. This is the older part of your brain, which is where we have our emotions. Then we get into fight, flight, freeze. And if you're having rational thoughts, it's coming in your prefrontal cortex in the front. If you flip your lid and you hit into the limbic system and into the fight, flight, freeze area, there's no more thinking. It's all action. When we feel unsafe, we flip our lids and we get to the survival part of our brain. And this is what happens with kids at school. They're stressed. They get upset. They're not thinking anymore. We get to here, and then there's no more talk. There's just action. They're fighting with words or with their themselves, their body, or they're running, or they freeze up. Sometimes we can actually push kids into freeze in how we react to kids, which we mistake for compliance, but it's really just them freezing up because they don't even know what to do at that point. As kids experience this and flip their lids and get into that fight, flight, freeze survival spot, they can get caught in a stress cycle, which means that they get into it more and more quickly. So if snow pants stressed me out today and I got really upset, then when I see my snow pants at the end of the day, I might get upset even quicker, and the next day and the next day. The steps that we follow in self-regulation to navigate through these challenges are to reframe the behavior. So we see it as a stress behavior, not a misbehavior. This is a powerful change, a powerful difference in how we see behaviors now. So when that student in front of me is really upset about the snow pants, I see this isn't about the snow pants. They're really upset. They flipped their lid. They're not thinking anymore. We just need to calm down. So the steps in self-regulation to support students would be to reframe the behavior. So that student that I talked about earlier that was upset about their snow pants, well, I'm not going to see that as a misbehavior. They're being bad. They're looking for attention. They're just having a day. I would look at it now as a stress behavior. I would look at it as that this is a result of them having high levels of stress, them going from that rational part of their brain, flipping their lid. They're now gone to the survival part. They're emotional, and they're just on fight, flight, freeze. And I need to see that they're not making choices here and that this isn't about self-control. I can recognize the stressor. That's step 2. That right now the stressor would be the snow pants. Then you reduce it. Reduce that stress, whatever the piece might be at that time. Then you can go back and reflect on what was the stress coming from and start trying to develop some stress awareness. And then we can help the student respond with some of their own personal strategies to promote resilience and restoration. As a staff, we're taking this journey together. We're taking it now with our students. We've been introducing it to kids, and we're going to be taking more steps to do it as a school, to have more conversations about energy levels, stressors, what it looks like when you're stressed, how we increase our energy level back up, recognizing our own personal strategies about how we're going to promote our resilience and restoration of our energy. And I think this is a really fantastic journey, and I'm looking forward to doing that with you and with our staff. So thanks for your time today.